And we're live.
Hey guys, welcome to another podcast of Masters of the Galaxy, and I am Brian Ozone, and I am here with Joshua Mead and our new friend Andrew K. What's up, brother?
Andrew K. How much? Thanks for having me.
Hey, we got a little history. We were what did we share a room twice now, two different cons. So
I never got the answer to the question.
It's good to have you. What?
I never got the answer to my question.
What was the question?
Were you the big spoon or little spoon?
You know what? Don't get jealous, Josh, because you wanted to spoon with him. It's okay.
Yeah, man.
I wanted a hug, and I never got it.
Hey, listen, what happens at cons, stay at cons, okay? So,
All
right, boys. Let's jump into it, man. So, welcome, Andrew, and glad to have you. I mean, you're a fan just like the rest of us, and it's glad to have you on the show. Do you want to give a little bit of a backstory for the fans listening?
Okay, yeah, I've grown up He-Man. I've lived, breathed, eaten practically He-Man. I have a pretty extensive collection. I mean, who doesn't have the classics? I have the classics.
Right.
But I've been collecting vintage toys, comic books. I even love to watch Dolph.
D87. What happened? Everybody went mute on me here.
Not me.
Okay.
I'm mute only because I'm eating. I'm trying to hear
the He-Man. I'm just a big man. Two custom Castle Grayskulls.
Custom Castle Grayskulls?
What?
Custom Castle Grayskulls, you said?
Yeah, I've got one that's the Castle of Power and one's the Fortress of Power.
Really? What, the new classics version or the old vintage version?
They're for the classics. Yeah, they're for the classics.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, did you customize it yourself, or did you buy it from somebody?
No, I bought them and I worked on them myself.
Is this one of the ones with the glowing eyes and stuff?
No. This is one of them is a shell or facade. It's pretty badass, no doubt. And then the other one is what is it? It's like 48 inches tall. It's got the full moat put together. It's got castle pieces you can take off. It's huge. It's way bigger than Maddie's castle they made.
Wow, you should take some pictures, man. People love to see that. That's 48 inches. That's pretty damn. That's pretty damn big for a castle.
It's big enough for my cats to fit in.
Yeah, your cat.
I made promises to stay clean.
There you go. Go.
Now, I have some questions. I do want to see that. You've got to take pictures of it.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I'd love to see.
So that you can have. I'm sorry, Brian.
No.
You can go.
No. I just said that's something I definitely would love to see. Go ahead.
Is it big enough that you can actually use the vintage figures properly, and they would fit in their spots as they're supposed to without being crowded? Does that make sense? Am I making sense here?
On the outside of the castle, it is, all except for the turret. The turret is way too large for a vintage figure.
Ah, cool.
Wow, that's got to be really big. And so, is it just like you're saying the facade? It's just the outside, or does it have the inside too?
It's the outside, and then there's nothing behind it. But I can pull off pieces of the front of the castle, and it has windows and stuff like that where I can stick the figures in, and then I can put the wall piece back on there, held on by big, powerful magnets.
Really? Wow. That's
expensive, and I had to wait 3 years for it to be finished.
Oh, so someone did this for you?
Yeah. It was made, and then I maybe added some stuff to it, but it's beautiful.
Oh,
really?
Man.
Yeah, you got to take pictures, man. That's something that I think everybody would like to see. I mean, just hearing about it, and I mean, wow. I mean, 48 inches is gigantic. I mean, I can only imagine what it looks like. Do you
It's big.
Were you able to put points red on it as well, or? That's
No, Point and Dread doesn't fit on there. Even the new Matting one doesn't fit on there. It just incompatible. They're different sizes and such. So
okay.
I've no need for Point and Dread to sit on it. But it's just really, really big. I've got like several figures just on it right now.
Wow, pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I have Point Dread. I'm just missing the perch, the little bar.
It's the talon fighter that sits on.
Point Dread.
Right.
The guy down. I want to do a name drop. The guy down at Dallas Vintage Toys, down in Dallas, Texas.
I hate them.
That's by you, Andrew, right?
They hooked me up.
I'm actually in Dallas, and those guys are scummy.
No way, man. They hooked me up. They even threw some special stuff in without charging me for my son's birthday. I mean, it was for Christmas, and they threw in some stuff for free and didn't even charge me. I mean, they were really cool. I don't know what kind of experience you had with them, and I can't, I can't speak for you, but my experience with them was pretty cool.
Does this what type of place is this? This place like sells toys, or it's a comic shop?
Everything, dude.
Actually, 4 of them in the Metroplex. My recommendation would be DFW Vintage Toys, but the Dallas one, what was it?
Okay, it's the one that when you go, it's down in Grapevine, and when you go in, you have to kind of go around, and it's in this little like shopping mall area that's kind of hard to find unless you have a GPS system. And when you go in, on the right they have all the vintage toys on a rack, and then they have a bunch of vintage toys in the back in a case. And
in the box, in the mint on card, or just loose?
Oh, the loose stuff is on like a wheel, like a little spinning thing.
Like a
that's Dallas Vintage, but they're in a park, you'd call it.
Wow.
Yeah, off of 635.
Yeah, that's it. Now, I mean, I might have just had caught him on a good day,
Yeah.
They really stood right by me.
If we're back in town on DFW, I'd recommend, or even the Lost Toys. So there's like 5 vintage shops, like for vintage toys out here in the Dallas area, though.
That's amazing. I wish that we had stuff like that. All the good shops, stores up here in New York City disappeared a couple of years ago. The internet pretty much put them out of business, unfortunately. It stinks, It used to be cool. I mean, back before eBay, there was so many of them in the city, and it was so cool because you had to like make trades and deals and backyard deals and swindles and stuff like that, and actually meet people and talk to them about making trades. Now it's all eBay or whatever. Hopefully Super 7 is going to be doing some stuff. Anybody heard word about the new figures and stuff yet? I mean, I know they answered questions about the figures that they came out with already, but is there any news?
There's still good possibility for Thundercats.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
Okay. They still said that they're trying to do the Thundercats then.
Yeah, I mean, it says that they're still working on it. They have nothing to report right now, but the fact that they brought it up and they didn't say that they're not doing it or that it's too expensive, it's promising.
So
yeah. Oh yeah.
They'll tell you if they're just not going to do it. I mean, they're pretty.
Yeah.
They don't hang you out to dry.
Right. Well, that's why I asked, because it's better. They're actually, I think, handling the properties so much better because they're not letting you hang on. Or they'll come straight out and tell you, listen, this is what it is. So for them to actually comment on the Thundercats is great because it's still promising. Hopefully, I mean, I collect them. I mean, something I want to continue. I think it's great.
On that note, we got to know that the 4 Horsemen are the one that pushed for the Thundercats in the first place. That Mattel, did put out, that Matty put out,
right?
And Four Horsemen and Super 7 are working so hard together, I got to say that they're probably, pushing Super 7 for this.
Oh yeah, I definitely probably the driving force behind it, which is great because they are such big fans of the properties of figures, toys, whatever you want to call it. I mean, just the amazing work they've done in the past is. I just hope that Super 7 and them can have such a great connection and move on and do so many better things in the future too. I mean, that's that's the only thing I can hope for. I mean, I know Josh, you're not a big collector of the classics figures, but
I don't have the money, or I would be.
yeah, I hear you. It's quite expensive, but I mean, they're so cool. I mean, they really are. Unfortunately, what did we get? 5 Thundercats and the 2 kittens.
Yeah.
It's it kind of stinks that that's what we're gonna get. We're not gonna be able to. Hopefully, they do finish that. I mean, just the core, Thundercats would be great to have.
It would be.
Yeah, it definitely.
I was just
Thundercat licenses.
I know get kicked between the legs in the comic.
Say that again.
So I was just happy to see Mumra nutshot Lion-O in the comic. That was so good.
Oh.
Well, talking about Thundercats license, there's all these rumors that are still around. They've been around for a while now, but they say something about a Thundercats movie this year. Now these are like a year old, and it's probably not likely. We haven't seen trailers and teasers at all. But Thundercats is on the mind. I mean, look, what is it? Loyal Subjects has the Thundercat license, and they're going to do Thundercats at some point in time.
Yes. Yes, I saw that on Entertainment Earth. I think you can actually buy the box of the figures already, or
you can order them.
Pre-order them. Yeah. I can't wait for them to come out. They're probably going to look so cool.
Yeah.
They are definitely cool toys that those guys make, man. They really are cool figures.
Yeah. Well, I'd agree as well.
Yeah. So let's on that kind of note. So what are your main things that you guys like to collect or buy, or what is your notch and Masters of the Universe world? What do you? We'll start with Josh. What's your favorite thing to collect or buy? Josh?
Well, I like. Well, I had like I said, I had myself muted so that I wasn't interrupting people when I ate.
Gotcha.
I didn't want that loud smacking sound or whatever might come across the mic. I like more than anything the old mini comics.
Okay. Did you get the?
Yeah, I figured you were.
The mini comics are cool. Did you get the book that they came out with all the mini comics in it? Or?
I haven't been able to yet. I'm saving up money for it, and I'm going to get it.
Okay.
Right now, I'm waiting for Mark Taylor's book to come out.
Dude, yeah.
That's going to be good. Oh, it's going to be so good.
That's that new book, right? Mastering. I forgot the title of it though.
I talked to his wife, and she's really excited about it too. And we go back and forth and stuff. And she's just, she's just a good person to talk to, just to know.
Right.
Well, I love the savage side of He-Man.
Oh, so do I.
And like it took me a long time to get into the Filmation He-Man because it was so different from the comics, and it just didn't feel like He-Man to me at the time. But I eventually got into it. I still loved it. Just wasn't the same. And so I like anything that is more like the original look. Where you can see the buckles on the back of his harness, where he used an axe, and that's the kind of stuff I love. That's the stuff I like to find.
Okay, that's cool. Andrew, what about you, bro?
Okay, so I love to collect a lot of little merchandise stuff, whether it be pencil sharpeners. I think you remember you and I when we were at PowerCon were hitting a few booths for just random crazy stuff.
Yeah,
Like pencil sharpeners, like like coloring books, all different kinds of crazy weird stuff, and I actually like bootlegs too. I love KOs or knockoffs. I have
right.
quite a few of those too.
Yeah, see, the knockoffs are cool. It's just that some of them are just way too expensive, and to me, they don't hold up the value for what people are asking.
I would like to get a collection of the old Ladybird books and the
they're
vinyl
cool.
book to tapes. You know what I'm talking about? Where you had the vinyl record and it would voice act the scenes. I lost mine.
The Golden Books, the video, is that what you're talking about?
No. I'm talking about the You used to be able to get these books, and in the back of the book it had like a vinyl record.
Oh,
and
yeah. Okay, that's yes.
I learned how to like,
Golden Books.
Yeah.
Golden case.
Right.
And I love those. Like love them. And I lost mine when we were moving. It mysteriously disappeared along with a whole bunch of other stuff.
That sucks.
I don't know where it's at. This is like when I was like 8, and but I loved them. Those were my favorite things. I mean, it was just it was like it lacked the look at me, I'm so cool that a lot of comics use for their main character, and it had you could tell that the character was actually in mortal danger. Something bad could happen to him. It didn't feel like he was untouchable. Like when you read a Superman comic or what have you, you never really get an impression that any of this stuff is actually a danger to him.
So you're talking about the Sword and Sorcery of He-Man back in the...
Right. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you come up one book, freaking Skeletor's got the castle. You're like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Well, what's going on here? This was back before the whole Power Sword thing. When it was half of it was hidden and the other half was with the Skeletor.
Yeah, that's the He-Man that I can really appreciate. The I for some reason, I don't know. It's just I love that whole barbarian savage He-Man. I just loved that. Just that whole everything about it was so much cooler. And then it got like technical and techie and stuff like that.
Everything was techie from the beginning, but the point was not the tech. It didn't overshadow everything else. Like He-Man, the reason that he was so strong was because of his harness. It was a technological. Yeah. And then they changed it, and they kept changing it.
Yeah. The power vest it was called, right? Or
that was it.
Power vest. Yeah.
Yeah. Which wasn't a vest, and I'm like, my knowledge of things. It hurt.
Yeah. But now it'd be my turn. I'd say. I mean, for me, I love to collect. And Andrew knows because we did it together. Like he's saying, I'm huge on the 80s, like 80s merchandise, because there's so much of it, and it's just so cool. Especially like the school supplies. They I forget the name of the was it Potash? I'm not sure. But it was them, right?
Something like that.
I vaguely remember school supply. That had Master of the Universe stuff. But like everything was so chaotic for me after like 85, 86 that I lost track of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, my mom threw a lot of my stuff out. I had to start fresh when I got older, but growing up in the 80s, man, there was just so much cool stuff that they had. I mean, it was just unreal, and it just, to me, blows my mind that nobody's picked up on this now, like recently, and why aren't these places and peoples and companies doing it again? Because there's definitely people out there that will buy stuff like that. I mean, just look at other toy lines that do it. You know, Paw Patrol. You know, just saying. They can come out with coloring books and stuff, and kids eat it up. I mean, you're talking to adults now with a lot of money that would pay for this stuff. To me, it's a no-brainer, but I don't, maybe I'm just wrong about it.
Well, the thing is that they drop the ball when it comes to merchandising for the product. They do, and what they toss out. Sorry, go ahead.
Are you talking like modern they dropped the ball, or like they dropped the ball like, you know, back in the 80s?
In the 80s, in the 90s, now in the early 2000s, if the product doesn't immediately take off without minimal money input and get maximum profit, they pull this cartoon, they pull everything, they won't have anything to do with it, and they just let it die. And that's why, you know, we end up with the mess we have now, where we have to get our stuff through a third party instead from the people who freaking created it. If it's not Barbie, they don't care.
I mean, I can see where you're coming from with that. I mean, yeah, you know, unfortunately, I guess that's kind of true that if it's not an immediate sellout, even with Maddie when it first came out, I mean, what were we having? 6-second sellouts, and then when a figure wasn't selling out right away, they were freaking out. I mean, I see where you're coming from with that, but I think that these places need to understand that not everybody has money at that absolute minute when something goes on sale or whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, but
I would bet my suspenders that if we went, yes, I wear suspenders for you guys.
It's okay.
I bet my suspenders that if we got Super 7 to start running this stuff, all their merchandise that they do that's so awesome, you know, like T-shirts and all this awesome stuff that they do because these guys are painting, right? They do all mugs, all this stuff. If they would start running it through Walmart, you know, all these large chains, it would sell like hotcakes. The He-Man. Oh, sorry.
Walmart did get some He-Man stuff recently. They got the Sup Ladies T-shirt.
Yeah, I have that, and I love it.
Yeah, and they're supposed to get those Dorbs from Funko. There's an exclusive figure that's only found at Walmart.
Are those out yet? The Dorbs, whatever they're called? Did they come out yet?
I haven't found them. I got She-Ra though. I got She-Ra from Funko directly. But
all I want is Tila. That's all I want of anything is Tila.
Tila?
Tila is a one figure I always want in any capacity is Tila. And I can never find anything, let alone Tila.
Yeah, I mean, I just...
She is my waifu.
I just wish that maybe, you know, the stuff would be more accessible, and maybe Mattel would realize that, hey, you're sitting on $1 million investment again. I don't know if it's just me, like I said, but...
Dude, the Sup Ladies T-shirt sold out. Like,
yeah?
That. I mean, immediately. I was lucky to get one in my size. I went in, they had one in my size. I come back the next day to get one for my son. Gone.
Really?
Yeah. I'm telling you, if they would invest in actually marketing this stuff through someplace other than a website, the exposure would be through the roof and you would get a lot more sales, because there's some people like me who can't afford to pay for a subscription in order to get a whole bunch of figures.
Well, I for one, I fought hard for the all-in subscription because I believe that you should have that option.
Yeah.
Because
but not everyone has Brian Ozone money.
I understand that, but I for one believe that if you're gonna collect something, you should have the option of collecting everything.
Yeah,
and that's why I believe in an all-in sub.
Yeah. Listen, people, Brian hoops quarters. Don't try to do what he does.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about, man.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I'd like to switch gears real quick. You haven't said what you enjoy most.
What's that?
You haven't said what you enjoy.
Oh no, I did. I said I 80s merchandise. I love.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Switch gears. I need to talk about something real quick. In the comments on the Facebook page.
Okay.
There was a response to last week's episode where I felt like I gave New Adventures a fair shake.
Okay.
I didn't give them a pass, but I didn't screw them over, right? When I did my analysis.
Okay.
There was a response on the thing about the guy said something about how he was disappointed in the podcast for having it, and that I was incorrect and didn't know what I was talking about. And it turned out that he was the one that was incorrect. Now, I want to say that I'm not going to bust his cojones for being wrong when he tried to call me out, because everybody gets wrong sometimes, right?
Very true.
If you're going to call someone out for being incorrect, don't start attacking the show for having them. Okay? That gets nasty. And I'm just lucky to have Doug, who was the one to correct him.
It's our boy Dirt.
Bond. But I'm not gonna like being wrong is okay.
Right.
Everybody can be wrong sometimes.
Sure, everybody's always wrong. I mean, not everybody's always right.
Nobody's gonna be disrespectful and nasty about it.
Right.
Okay? If I'm wrong, I've already shown that I will come on live, whatever this is, YouTube, do it live, whatever, and I will say I was wrong.
Right.
I will apologize. All you have to do is go back 3 or 4 episodes, and I did it.
Right.
And there's no reason to get nasty. You know?
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason for that. I mean, what happened?
He was a Japanese cartoon fan, and he got real nasty about it because I didn't like Japanese cartoons, I guess, and he started.
Well, no, not everybody's an anime fan. I mean, I for one, I don't really care for it. I mean, to me, it's just way too much going on. It's too fast, and it's too much.
I like it in some instances. There are certain cartoons that I like. But for the most part, when you get into stuff like Naruto and, I guess Dragon Ball Z now, where it's just like, end it. Just stop.
I like anime, but I don't branch out very often. I tend to stay liking and watching only what I like to watch. As a high school teacher, though, my students are into anime and my little brother's into anime, so it's
cool. My wife's an anime.
What?
My wife's a high school teacher too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I get it. I mean, it's just like liking He-Man. Everybody has their niche. I get it.
Right.
But getting back, I think to what Josh was trying to say is just it's not nice to be rude, and I agree. It's not. You shouldn't attack people. Everybody's wrong at some time and point in their life, and that's what it comes down to. And just be nice about it. There's no reason to attack and go after somebody.
Right, or to podcast just for having me. I mean, come on. You know what, guys? I was asked to be here. I was pursued. I didn't ask. I didn't chase. I was requested to be here as a participant in this podcast. So it's not like I somehow weaseled my way into this. And I don't know why.
You didn't weasel your way in, Joshua?
Well, there's some people who do try to weasel their way in and try to get on the show just because you know.
Listen, I mean, I don't know.
I want to clarify something here, just for the sake of laying it all out there. It was two different people who actually commented on Facebook. So, what one guy was talking about the New Adventures and how, if you had read the mini comics and if you had read the book by so and so and whatever, then you would know why this was different and whatever. And you didn't seem to know all that. Which the point was you were just watching the show and holding the show on its own. So that was one thing. Then there was another guy who his issue was that animation that has that Asian look to it is not necessarily anime. Anime is something.
That's what it's called, anime.
Right. And so those are two different conversations. And one guy was rude about it, and the other guy was.
Yeah, the other guy was cool.
He just wanted to clarify, and it came across a little wrong at first, but then once you talked to him, then he was laughing about it. He was like, I understand. It's just one of those things where...
the guy that provided the link, that guy was cool. I mean, I'm not even calling the other guy out. I'm just saying that don't be like that. I mean, come on, dude. We're not in this to be nasty with each other.
No, absolutely not. But we're here to have fun and maybe learn something, or give somebody some knowledge. That's what I try to get out of this. That's what it's about. Having fun.
Was just talk about the cartoon itself. None of the other minutia, just the cartoon.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that the company that created was an American anime company.
Right. Just real quick, Andrew. Yeah. What do you think about New Adventures? What's your take on the show?
Man, I tried watching it about 2 years ago, and it was really easy to fall asleep. Like it was like almost like a sleeping aid. I do enjoy it though. Like, I mean, the mini comics were really good. I like the figures, even though they're cheaper and they got reused in like Demolition Man.
Demolition Man, yeah.
Well, to be fair, really like the figures. All figures were reused from Big Jim.
But I don't know. I collect them. I mean, there's no doubt that I have some in my collection, and that if I get more, I'm definitely cool with that. But New Adventures it's like the stepbrother.
The redheaded stepchild.
Hey,
nice. But I'll always include in the family. I'll always collect them, and I'll love them almost as if they're my own. But it's not Masters Universe as much. So I'm gonna side with the sibling that matters, obviously. So
Yeah, I got you. Like I said, I
be canon to me. It'll never be canon. There's
it will never be
that will ever be canon for me.
It's got its time and its place. Like I said, when it first came out, I wasn't into it at all, but I found a place for it. I like it. I enjoyed it. And I think it's pretty cool.
Inbred cousin of MOTU that you keep underneath the steps. You don't tell anybody about, and you feed dead bodies to.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. So, you guys got anything to say before we wrap this sucker up? Because it's about that time.
Have y'all been since Joshua's really into the animation and into the comics? Y'all heard that? Really into the animation, sir. Have y'all heard about the new episode of Masters that's going to be coming out in the next year or so?
The new Filmation you're talking about, right?
Oh, is this like the one that he's doing on his own?
About it's not coming out until September, I don't think. But there's a new episode called The Return of Faker that's coming out sometime in the next year.
Yeah, I did hear about that, and it's in the Filmation style, and hopefully it's as good as the Three Curses. The Three Curses were cool, unfortunately, He-Man wasn't in it. That's my only downfall. I just, it'd be nice. I get it because John Irwin is like in hiding and doesn't want nothing to do with He-Man for some reason. Maybe they got him to voice He-Man, or maybe someone close to his voice to do it.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
don't
that's
have to.
it's good.
You don't
That's good
have
to bring up, though.
You can always use someone else. You don't need his voice.
Yeah, but it's John Irwin, man. He's He-Man, so he's Michael Knight. He's the Hoff.
It's hard to replace John Irwin. I would say that.
Yeah.
It's like it's like trying to replace Skeletor's voice. I mean, there's people that can do it, but it's not Skeletor.
Exactly. That's very well said.
Yeah.
All right.
But I can do without it. Like, I am not so stuck on it that I must have it.
I would love for him to come back at least. At least for one more show. It'd be nice.
I would too. But I'm not so stuck on it that if he doesn't there, then I can't watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, but listen, I got to wrap this up because my kids are screaming, so it's time for me to go. Do you guys got anything that you want to say? Any shout outs or whatnot before we wrap it up?
Thanks for having me this week.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime, Andrew. But all right, so let me just say thanks. Thanks to popculturenetwork.com. Thanks to the listeners. Thanks to HeManWorld.com. Check out the Masters of the Galaxy Facebook page and the All Encompassing Facebook page. And until next time, rock on, guys.
Peace out.